A lot of first-time entrepreneurs are not going to like what I'm about to say, but I'm still going to say it anyway. The entrepreneurship journey doesn't get easier, and the first idea you have is unlikely to blow up as you imagined. However, there are lessons first-time entrepreneurs ought to learn before they launch their first business idea. This is what this video is all about, so welcome to the lesson chapter. At a very young age, I've always imagined owning my own business. I would play with ideas in my mind, but I never took any serious action. I didn't even know where to start. I only took real action at 26. And then I realized that there is a big difference between imagining it and actually doing it. So here are 9 lessons that every first-time entrepreneur ought to know before they launch their first business idea. The first is you can always start small and it doesn't have to be perfect. Before I launched my first business idea, I thought I had to have the answers to every question and everything had to be in place. But when I really started, the only thing I needed was a Google form and a good internet connection. And today, that very little idea has turned into a business innovation training platform. While this depends on the type of business, I still very much believe that you can launch your idea or even test it without investing so much until you're certain that people can pay for your solution. The second lesson is the journey is not always all fun. I've seen a lot of people on Instagram saying, I became an entrepreneur because I wanted flexibility and the possibility to work from anywhere. This may be true, but it still requires hard work. I have worked the hardest in my own business than I have worked for any employer. And I will keep doing so if I want this business to keep paying the bills. The third lesson is don't spend a lot of time building a solution when you're not yet sure people are willing to pay for that solution. I know of someone who spends so much time and resources to build a platform to enable people to earn sustainability points. At the end, this person realized that no one was willing to pay for his solution. So what he should have done instead is to start talking to his target group using a simple prototype. And once he has validated the problem and the solution, as well as the target group willingness to pay, then he could move to building the actual product. Next lesson is your family and friends are not your customers. They may not even relate to the problem that you want to solve. Before launching your business idea, take some time to interview your target group to find out if they can relate to the problem you want to solve and the solution you want to offer. My next recommendation is to find a support system. This may be a mentor or an accountability partner or a team member. I found it to be very helpful to have someone to exchange my ideas with and to discuss some challenges. The journey can be very overwhelming, so having an accountability partner to remind you of your goals and to enable you to keep forging ahead when you hit some hard times will be very helpful. First-time entrepreneurs should also be open-minded. Don't be fixated on that specific business idea, the problem you want to solve, or the solution. Rather, start learning from the customer's perspective. This will enable you to improve your solution. My next recommendation is have a second option and treat it as important as your business. This may be to have a part-time job. As you launch your business idea, you would realize that you need to cover some expenses. For example, marketing costs or transportation. You also need to eat and you have rents to pay. This is where having a part-time job helps you. I've covered a video on entrepreneurs who built successful businesses while they kept their jobs. So feel free to watch that in order to draw some inspiration. Since I started my business, I have had to learn new skills and also to do some tasks that I don't really like. At one moment, you will find yourself preparing a sales speech, researching potential customers or your competitors. Next minute, you're designing flyers. All of this may help you to uncover some hidden potentials, but it can also be very overwhelming to put on so many different hats. My final advice is always find time to pause, rest, and reflect. It's very difficult to advise first-time entrepreneurs to take a break because in the very beginning, you want to put all of your energy to make the business work. As much as that is important, it is also very important to take a break and reflect on how far you've gone. Reflecting can also enable you to notice some mistakes that are worth correcting so that they don't repeat themselves in the future, and to gather some lessons learned. Resting is also very important because we have just one body, so it's important to treat it with kindness and give it sufficient time to recover. I hope you found this video useful. If you would want me to cover more lessons learned for first-time entrepreneurs, let me know in the comments. Are you also an entrepreneur? Let me know the lessons you will share with first-time entrepreneurs before they launch their first business idea. Thank you for watching. Please do not forget to like, to subscribe, and to share this video with someone. I will see you in the next video.